So a couple of weeks ago, we were having a chat and you're like, hey, man, have you heard of this? I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, in the movies, yes, I've heard of that, but not in real life. And I want to touch base with you and have a discussion with you because you're a lot more educated than what I am. And I guarantee if you are listening to this right now, 90% of you are not educated in this space.
Oh, dude, I
If
think
not
it's
more.
more than
Yeah.
90.
Maybe 98.
Like,
I'll give it
genuinely.
2%.
I would say I'm not yet an expert in this space.
Not an expert, but you're educated. You're more educated than most. You understand the concept and what
I've
it can
built
do.
an agent.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we just dropped it. I haven't said what we were talking about yet.
don't
Shit.
care.
You ruined it.
I can't
You ruined
help it.
I'm going to turn the podcast off.
this is
I'm done.
We're in the time where speed matters.
Yeah. Talking about AI agents. Okay. Not just AI. And whenever anyone thinks about AI, like what's the first thing you think of? What's the first thing they think of? ChatGPT.
Yeah, dude.
The only thing.
Okay, so just before I walk downstairs and one of your employees says, hey man, ChatGPT just saved me 3 hours, blah, blah, blah. He's like, this AI stuff's sick. And I just looked at him and I'm like, that is the most basic of AI. Like I said, you're going to freak. And then I walked halfway up the stairs and I said, freak when George fires you because he doesn't need you anymore.
Yeah. Heard it here first. It's like, but it's the equivalent to someone coming up to you and go, hey, I just did this thing where I typed into a box and it's called Google. And then it showed me a whole bunch of stuff.
But that would be cool back then.
That's what I
Think
mean.
about it.
That's what I mean. That's
Think
the equivalent,
about it,
isn't
yeah. Think about it. Imagine
People are looking at AI now.
Imagine
and
you're
they're
like, how do you find something out? Let's go to let's drive to the library and find the encyclopedia, and we got to get the right letter because they're all in separate books because
Yep.
there's so much information. And it's not here, so we'll come back next week, and then hopefully by next week we can find out what that thing was.
Or you're like, hey, we need to paint this wall. Okay, let me just go to the yellow pages, see if I can find a painter.
Yeah,
And AAA.masterpainter comes up.
and then and then
okay.
you have to go find the book,
Yeah.
sit down with the book, flick through the book, find the person, contact them, whatever.
Yeah,
And it's like,
if they
you
answer.
can't believe it. This is all on one thing now.
Yeah, you just go here into
Yeah,
this Google
it's like
thing.
you go type in this
What a
thing
funny
and it comes
word.
out. Yeah, and everyone's like, "Wow!" No one had heard
Blew
the term
my
Google.
mind.
Do you know what Google? The definition of Google is?
None.
You don't know what Google is?
Zero.
Serious?
Zero idea. You're about to blow my mind.
Oh man, I had this fact in my mind, and I'm like, I'm gonna drop this on the pod. It's gonna be sick.
Is it about Google?
Nah, but
I
I'll tell you
don't
what a
hear it.
Google is. A Google is a number.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's 1 followed by 100 zeros.
Cool.
It's the
That's a
biggest number.
Google.
So yeah, Google it.
I'm going to Google what Google means.
I'll show you right now.
I'm
You
gonna
think
do
this
it.
is a game? What's a Google?
Hey, Siri, what's a Google?
Doesn't work.
So it asked me if I wanted to use ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's because there you go. Anyway, if you can, I don't know, if you can zoom into that.
If you can't, sort your shit out.
Yeah, but there you look. It's
I believe you. I don't doubt it. There you go. 10,
not a joke.
100 zeros.
That was the first time I ever heard the term Google. It was in primary school. And they told
Oh,
us that.
wow.
Yeah.
No. First time I heard, no. I can't remember that far back. I'm 40.
Yeah, I don't know. I found it fascinating.
I'm fascinated. So,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
that
it's
was
the
that.
equivalent.
And
It's the
now this
equivalent
is this.
You know, people going, and we did this at events 2 years ago when we did our first event. Stood up in front of a crowd and you're like, tell me, put your hand up if you've heard of ChatGPT. And you had like 3 people put their hand up. And you do the same thing today. So put your hand up if you've heard of ChatGPT. And it's like everyone put their hands up.
I made the first ChatGPT video like
I remember that one.
6 days after it came out.
Was it that early?
Yeah, I got it early. People had never heard of it.
Yeah. I remember you told
I told a lot of people about it, dude.
I
was
no, I
running
think I
around.
heard of it.
Yeah.
And then you had done it. And then it's like and then you told me I have to check it out.
Yeah, yeah. No,
And then I set up an account.
sorry, maybe it wasn't 6 days. Maybe it was 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But it was six
Something.
something. And it wasn't 6 months.
Seconds?
I wish. But nonetheless, now you go and you type into this thing and it talks back, right? So if you look at it from a technological, like let's just lay it out, right? Are you a visual guy?
I'd say so, yes. Yes, I would be, because if I'm trying to recall stuff, I look like up and right. Isn't that visual? You know, you're looking in the right part of in that part of your brain. when you're thinking about you're doing it right now.
Yeah, but I think everyone does that.
No, I think some people might look left, and I think that depends whether you're
No,
which-
left and
which
right. One's creation. Oh, well, this is the theory.
Yeah.
One's
creative,
Creative?
one's, logical.
one's creation, like you're creating the thought, and the other one's remembering.
Mm.
So one's looking back, and the other one's usually if they look left, they're lying.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's the theory. I don't know how well I haven't tested it, but
Back to what I was saying.
let's lay it out on a board. Okay, so you as a human now, you go and talk to chat. Do you call your chat anything?
Chat.
Do you call it chat?
Okay,
Me too.
hey, chat.
Yeah, me too. Hey, chat. Do you message it good morning?
I haven't done that. No,
Yeah, me either.
but mine. I say thank you.
Of course, and please,
Yeah,
and Your Majesty,
yeah.
and everything. Just don't kill me. So right now, there's a human. Human talks to chat. Chat responds. That's the whole thing. How it works, right? I talk to it. It talks back. So imagine talking to a human that could only talk, and you're like, "Hey, blah blah blah," and then they say da da da, and then you're like, "Okay, cool. Like this human talks. That's great." And then imagine all of a sudden now you're like, "Hey, here's a computer. It's got all these tools on it. You've got my CRM, you've got my email, you've got all this. And now you know how to think, so you know how to reason with what I'm telling you and take actions based on that because you can do that, but you can only talk back before. So if you go to ChatGPT now and you say, can you check what I've got on tomorrow? You can't do that because it'll turn around and say, I don't have access to your calendar. Right? So the next step is you give it access to tools. And then you can say, hey, what do I have on tomorrow? And it says, tomorrow you've got this at 3 p.m., this at 2 p.m., this at 1 o'clock, blah, blah, blah. And then you can say, cool, what's the weather tomorrow for my appointments? And then it'll be like, tomorrow the weather's looking like it's going to be this and that because you've connected it to your email, your calendar, and your weather app. And then you can say, cool, can you just send everyone I've got a meeting with tomorrow? Can you get the details from the CRM and just email them and just confirm that they're going to be able to arrive? If they haven't accepted the invite. So it'll go check who hasn't accepted the invite for your thing tomorrow and then go send them, grab their details from the CRM and then email each individual one by one a personalized message coming from you. Right? This is basically at the point where you can say, okay, cool. If I've got, what does a human at a computer do?
Say what?
What does a human at a computer do? They sit down, they're
So-
connected to the internet,
Yeah,
And
get information.
they are able to use a bunch of tools to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Anything a human does sitting at a computer can now be replicated
By an AI agent.
by an AI agent.
So that's how you got to think of it then, don't you? Then think
Yeah.
about how many of you sit at a computer and do stuff.
Yeah, and then if there's a step in the process where, let's just say, for example, part of your role requires you to do something physically, that will probably be the only part that you need to continue to do. And every other part will be replaced
Yeah.
because it'll be in an automated process that can be done by agents or a team of agents. So you might have,
So can you have one agent that rules them all?
yeah,
Going to
yes,
reference for Lord of the Rings, because I know you're a massive Lord of the Rings fan.
huge.
One ring to rule them all.
If you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. And if you want to watch the full episode, click just over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and thanks for watching.